Welcome to Inside City Hall. I'm your host, Mayor Darrell Seymore, and our guests today are Public Works Operation Manager Rick Austin and Community Development Specialist Jacob Wilcock. Welcome, Rick.
Welcome.
Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you.
Glad to have you guys with us this morning. Things going okay as things get a little greener, brighter out there?
Yes, we got some rain. That was a good thing.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? It always makes it exciting. Some of the things we want to cover today is just some of the cleanup that we have going on around the community. The first off, we'll talk about that. Then we're going to go into some code enforcement, some of the issues that we have, particular with sheds and the popularity of sheds and the compliance that we have to remind people a little bit there. Rick, let's talk a little bit about our project clean sweep that we have. One of the things that I love living in our community, it gives us the opportunity periodically to put things out that the city will either pick up, or we also can take things to different places, different dump sites, and it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg to keep our yards clean. So why don't you talk a little bit about what we have, the green waste dumping that we have coming up, as well as some of the other things that our people can take their debris.
All right, as everybody probably knows, Project Clean Sweep is annual service that the city gives the citizens. 2 weeks out of the year, you can haul green waste to Dirty Deeds. This year it'll be May 16th through the 28th, excluding Sundays, of course. You can bring all your green waste out to Dirty Deeds. They will accept it and dump it off. This year is a big change for them. They're doing lumber. So not only can your green waste go out there, your lumber can go out there also. They've kind of expanded that for that. And then on June 6th through June 9th, the city will come around and pick up for those who can't haul out there, and also any other bulky items, including electronics and washers and dryers and things of that nature. So we'll take that and haul it off for you.
Now, the bulk items that the city picks up at the curb site, does it need to be bundled a certain way? Does it need to be in bags? How do we, provide that as citizens?
All of your debris should be bagged. The limbs should be at 4-foot bundles and just put out at your curbside. We can't go on private property, of course, but as long as it's neat and orderly out there at the curb, we can pick it up and haul it away for you.
Okay, that's great. Now the cost of going out to Dirty Deeds, and we need to talk a little bit about where they're located and how somebody would get there. A lot of people, it's not the easiest place to find, but it's a pretty common area for a lot of people that have lived here, but for new people, it's kind of a difficult place to find. So let's kind of explain. You want to explain how we get out the Dirty Deeds? You
go out Highway 60, like you're going to Perkins Cenders, turn on the road. I can't remember the name of the road there at Perkins Cenders, but you follow it all the way back past Perkins Cenders.
Knoll Drive.
Dirty Deeds is back there in the very back of that road.
Okay, so you'll turn on Knoll Drive, just go past the airport like you're going out towards St. John's, and then you'll turn on Knoll Drive, and then you get up to the top of that hill and you'll take a right, and you'll see this big cinder pit off to the left, and Crusher, just keep going, and pretty soon you'll see a sign up there that says Dirty Deeds.
Correct.
And so,
yes,
and that there's no cost for that. They can take pickup loads and things in there during those 2 weeks, drop those off, and there's no cost, and that's strictly just green waste at that time.
Correct, and they do have to have a city sanitation bill to be able to do that.
Okay.
Or have a city address.
City address on their driver's license or something. Okay, that's fantastic. Now let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that we have going out to the Lone Pine Transfer Station. What do we take out there?
We've taken everything from, you name it. I mean, we've lumber, we've done, I just can't describe all the stuff that we've taken out there. It's a menagerie of just everything, old toys, swing sets.
Okay.
We've taken a lot of stuff out there.
Now, is that free at the transfer station? That's June 6th to the 11th?
That is, the city hauls out to
Okay, the city
that
hauls.
week.
But nothing that we can't go out there and have any free dumping.
Correct.
Okay. Now, abandoned vehicles, let's say that somebody has an abandoned vehicle or something, will the city come and pick that up as well?
We have in the past, but we've kind of deferred that to B&D salvage out there. They're starting to pick those up for us, so you just give them a call or give us a call and we'll arrange to have it done.
Okay. You know, because that's one of the things that's important, that we keep the city looking, you know, so if you have a broken down car or something that's not running and you absolutely don't want it, then please call us or call S&D Auto Wrecking, and we'll get out there and see that they can pick up that car. That's great. Let's
well, there is a free dump out at the dump, right, on June 6th or June 10th. You can take your own stuff out there, right, with the proof of residency.
Okay.
Right.
So the 6th to the 10th, we can go out to Lone Pine as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. Well, let's take advantage of Clean Sweep. I know it's one of those things that it's hard, but yet to remember that date, mark it on your calendars, put it down, and it's a great advantage. And we appreciate the city and what the workers do to make that. You know, I know it's an extra load that you guys do, but it's just one of the ways that a lot of people can take advantage of. So we encourage our citizens to do that. The electronics, now that's anything from computers to
TVs.
printers, TVs, any electronics, and we can set those out on the side of the curb or
And we'll pick it up.
pick those up as well. That's great. You know, some of those real big old heavy TVs, they weigh hundreds of pounds, you know,
We've
get
got
rid
a
of
few
some
of
of those
those.
things. And that's great. Well, Jacob, let's talk a little bit about what we have coming up here, code enforcement. I know there's some changes right now going through different codes that the city's going to be experiencing, but I don't know that it's going to change anything that has to do with our sheds and buildings that are prefabricated or a shed that you want to put
Right.
With a foundation and start. Let's start a little bit about where they get into boundaries where they have to get a permit from the city and what they should do.
Okay, yeah, this is in regards to any pre-built shed or site-built shed.
Okay.
There's not a difference when it comes to building code. And the limit is 144 square feet. Any shed over 144 square feet needs to have a permit.
Okay.
And sheds under 144 square feet don't need a permit, but they still need to meet our setbacks.
Okay.
And so all sheds need to meet setbacks, whether over 144 square feet or under 144 square feet.
And what is the setback requirement for a shed?
A typical setback is 20 feet from any street-facing property. So that could be, if you're on a corner lot, you'd have 2 street-facing properties, or sometimes you have a street in the front and in the back. They need to meet that 20 feet. Some other zoning, some other areas, some other neighborhoods, it might be more than 20 feet, but typically it's about 20 feet. And then on the sides and the rear property lines, typically 5 feet or more, depending on how tall your shed is or in what zoning your neighborhood is.
Okay. And so we need to make sure that we have the right setback, and that's always a good to make a call at City
Yes.
Hall and just say, what's my rear setback, what is my side setback, and to make sure that you have the exact one for wherever you're living, because the zoning changes a lot in the different neighborhoods as well.
Right.
down
The
there.
easiest thing to do is make a call. It could save you time rather than us coming out there and telling you have to move your shed.
Right.
Or, yeah, it's definitely easier just to make a call.
Now, when do we get into a permanent foundation or a footing that's required?
When you get that, when you're over that 144 square foot mark, whether it's a pre-built shed or a site-built shed, you need to have a permanent foundation, permanent footings that meet our building code.
Okay. And what did we get into there? I mean, is it going in completely with rebar and concrete, or is there any way that somebody can go in and put blocks, or does it have to be permanent in the ground?
Well, there's plenty of options you can choose from. You could do piers, you could do a solid foundation, monolithic foundation they call it, where it's one slab that turns down into footings, or you build up piers, but it needs to go down into the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So if the building though had a floor in it, they would just need the footing size, right?
Right.
Okay. How about metal sheds? Is there anything different with metal sheds?
Well, a lot of metal sheds out there that you can get at Home Depot or other locations, they're engineered sheds. They don't meet our conventional code. Or not that they don't meet it, it's not in conventional code. So they've been engineered, they've been designed by an engineer on how they need to be installed and what the loads that they meet, because they need to meet our snow loads, our wind loads. And so when they submit plans for any of those sheds over 144 square feet, we need that engineering with it, and they need to be built per that engineering.
Okay. Because usually it's the snow load and the other things that we have, a collapsing of those buildings, and then they come back and say, what happened. And a lot of times it isn't so much that owner, it's future owners. A lot of times people sell their home, has the shed, and they haven't had a problem, but then it's the future owner that maybe has a problem with the shed, and then that they'll come into the city hall and say, what documents do you have, or what type of, was this built to code or anything like that.
Correct.
So it's helpful that way. We have their different setbacks. Well, we have a few more minutes here. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that we have right now going on with different codes and different things that you're involved with. It becomes a busy time where I think it's a time where people start looking at Saturday sales and the swap meets and also the garage sales. What does a person need to have a garage sale in Show Low?
Well, it needs to be on their property. And if they want to have any signage, they can put it up before the sale. They can't put it up in the sidewalk or anything. They can't be obstructing any of the right-of-ways or anything. And they need to pick it up after the sale. And the sale can only last for 3 consecutive days, typically like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And you're only allowed to have 3 of those in a year's time.
Okay, so if you see a neighbor that's having a yard sale every week, he's really not in compliance.
Right, or continuous Monday through
all the time
Saturday,
going forward. Well, that's important to know. And I think that's a lot of it is we put our signs up. We want people to come to our yard sales, but we sometimes then forget to pick up after ourselves to go back and remove those signs throughout there. You're involved a lot with just the signage and code enforcement throughout the community. And how do you find that goes as far as the businesses and things in the community complying with signs?
For the most part, we do pretty good. One thing that we do see an issue with a lot is off-site signs. When you have a sign that's not on your property that's telling people about your business, it's an off-site sign, and those are not allowed in the city of Show Low. A lot of times you'll see the small ones that people put up in the right of way. Those aren't permitted in the city of Show Low. Or if you're located off of Deuce Clubs or the White Mountain Road and you go ahead and try and put up an A-frame sign up there on the sidewalk, that's an off-site sign. Those type of signs aren't allowed in the city of Show Low. So those are our main issues that we find with signage.
Everything that way. That's great. Well, those are some great tips to have, and hopefully, we have a lot of businesses that do sell sheds and the setbacks and the compliance, and hopefully those things can make a difference with people going forward. And I think with you, Rick, what else do we have going on in Public Works that's kind of a highlight this summer here that you guys are working on, or projects you have coming up?
We've got several projects going on. Right now we're in the midst of our slurry seal project, so the crews are out there milling up streets and patching bad spots so that we can get a good seal coat on them. We've done several water lines around town, including 10th and Burke, which is going on right now. We've done a lot of work down here at Ewing. Just basic projects that are out there, and we're out there every day serving our community, and we appreciate everybody that comes up and tells us the good job that we're doing. And
right. Is there a list? Is there a way a citizen could find out if his street is going to be slurry sealed, or what's kind of happening there, if they would know when the time frame that they might be sealing around a person's home?
You get on the Show Low website, and there is a map that shows our slurry seal routes.
Okay.
So
and kind of a schedule as well.
And a schedule.
That'd be great. So if our citizens will just go to the website, that's great. And just a plug for those businesses that are down here where we're working, you know, sometimes they say, I don't want to come down into a construction site or things. You know, we have 2 businesses here. We have Aunt Nancy's, we have America's Pie, we have some other Sunshine Herbs and Realty companies down here. So they're open. Those businesses you can get access to, come in, patronize those businesses while they're under construction. We don't want to see, you know, them have a hardship because we're working on streets. So whatever the community can get behind and come down and visit these places, it's great. As well as we now have a new sandwich shop here in the library. Those are just little nice eating places to visit through the summer here. So hopefully that will make part of it. Well, we appreciate what you guys are doing to keep our community clean, to make it safe, and to keep the residents in compliance with the codes and things that we have. Is there anything else you guys would like to share this morning? All right. Well, you guys are not real talkative today. You know, we're going to have to, you know, give you a little longer time next time. Assignments to talk for 30 minutes maybe, okay? Rick, I appreciate you being here today. Jacob, thanks for what you guys do. Thanks for joining us on Inside City Hall today, and have a great day.